It started with one guy, Colin Kaepernick. And everybody said, well, you know, he's just exercising his rights as an American.
Mm-hmm.
And besides, it's only one guy. And, you know, just one guy. What difference does one guy make? And he's a reserve quarterback.
It's not even a starter.
Nobody's really paying attention and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm. It's spreading.
Well, now, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess the latest is, what is it, Parky? There was the guy, Brandon
Marshall.
Marshall for the Broncos. Who did the knee. There was the guy, and I didn't see who it was, who actually, did he put on the black glove and do the...
I don't think anybody put on black gloves, but there were several players
Carlos,
with the fist in the air.
Tommy Smith Black Power salute.
It was even done at a local high school football game.
Tell me about this.
This happened apparently at, I'm trying to think, at Haughton. I'm trying to find it real quick. I'm going to have to hunt for it. Give me a minute.
But they're only exercising their rights as Americans.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only a few people. So
Yeah.
what, you know, it's what difference does it make?
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you something. How many will it take? How many does it take? People who don't respect the flag, people who don't honor the men and women who have sacrificed to make this country what it is. How many people does it take? How many people have to think? Because the people who are the athletes, both at the highest level and now at a local level, and
Right.
I'm sure it's happening across that's what kids...
Of course.
Okay, how many people have to think, as these people do, that America is an unjust, illegitimately founded, evil, hegemonistic nation before it's all over, before we've lost it?
Lost complete control.
Not lost control is one way, but before the country is done.
As we know it today is done. I agree.
So you tell me, how many does it take?
It's getting darn close in my book. It's getting darn close.
If more and more and more people think, do you think the Brandon Marshalls, the Colin Kaepernicks, the guys in Seattle who joined arms, if you sat them down and said to them, why are you doing that? And they said, because America is unjust and it's unfair, and because police are summarily executing young black men at random across the country. And you said, well, the facts don't say that.
That's not what they believe.
If you said, okay, but if you have more and more and more people who think that, look, there are people who think hands up, don't shoot actually happened.
Right.
It didn't. But if you have more and more and more people who believe that America is a bad place, that it's a racist place, that it's an unfair place, how many people have to think that before it's all over? Before you don't have America anymore. Because in the end, that's what they're telling you they want.
Of course.
We don't want this America. We want a different America. So
Yeah.
Colin Kaepernick, so Brandon Marshall, so Black Power Salute guy, what would you be willing to stand up for? Nobody's asked Colin Kaepernick
No.
that.
No,
Nobody's
you're right.
asked Colin Kaepernick, Brandon Marshall. You're on one knee when we play the national anthem because obviously you believe America is a bad, unjust, illegitimately founded nation.
Yes.
What kind of America would you stand up for? Would you stand up for America where the government controls everything?
Right.
Is your fair America like Venezuela or Vietnam or Cuba or the old Soviet Union? The collective, as it were?
Right.
which all eventually collapse under their own weight. Is that the America you'd stand up for? What America would Colin Kaepernick stand up and put his hand over his heart and say, that's the America I love, that's the America that I believe in? We talked a long time ago. Remember my riff on Jon Stewart and The Daily Show?
Yes.
And I would talk about how when Jon Stewart, let me tell you this. Jon Stewart, when he was doing The Daily Show, was far and away. Nobody lived, I would say, not only did nobody live in Jon Stewart's town, they didn't live in his area code. They didn't live in his zip code. They didn't live in his state. Jon Stewart, when he was doing The Daily Show, was the most talented man in television.
Oh, by far.
The problem is, part of Jon Stewart's show every day on The Daily Show was telling people, and I would say the core audience was what, 18 to 34?
Yeah.
Every day, Jon Stewart on The Daily Show would tell people that nothing is sacred, nothing is worth standing up for, nothing is worth fighting for. Everything is bad, everything is unjust, everything is unfair, everything is screwed up, and you're the one who's getting screwed.
And we can joke about it all.
And if you tell people over and over and over again that nothing is worth standing up for, that nothing is worth fighting for, then when it comes time to fight, much less stand up,
Nobody wants to fight.
nobody will stand up. And so that's where we are.